After decades of doubt, debate, and conflicting theories, archaeologists just announced that they have discovered the real Mary Magdalene's tomb, the one from the Bible. And she wasn't alone. They also found the possible burial place of Jesus Christ himself. Are you excited? Because we sure are. In this video, we'll tell you about the latest findings and how scientists are making sure that this is really the final resting place of the disciple of Jesus. Archaeologists in France say that they found the actual tomb of Mary Magdalene and that it might even contain the body of Jesus Christ. To find out if he is really lying in the tomb with her, they'll have to dig further to find human remains. But first things first. Where exactly is this fabled tomb located, and why do the researchers think that it belongs to Mary Magdalene? The tomb lies in the village of Senec, in the Provence region of France. This is where a chapel was built around a cave, which has a niche or recess that looks like a coffin. The village itself is home to a famous Cistercian abbey known as the Abbey, which was founded in 1090 and dissolved during the French Revolution. It's now a private property and a popular tourist attraction. The archaeologists began their excavations at the end of summer 2021, following rumors that someone had seen bones inside the niche during the chapel's renovation. At first, they thought that it was just another hoax, but after doing some research, they found some evidence that may change everything. That is because the cave was already mentioned in a letter written in 1279 by a monk who claimed to have visited the tomb of Mary Magdalene in Senec. In his writing, the monk said that people used to go to the cave in order to venerate the tomb. But then, for centuries, nothing happened. There were no more writings about the tomb until 1665, when a new manuscript resurfaced, this time describing the location of the tomb in detail. The author of the manuscript described how to get there, saying that those wishing to visit the site should go to the high altar, remove one of the stones, and enter through the hole behind it. So it took a few hundred years, but in the late 1800s, people started visiting the site again, and a stone marker was put up, saying that this was Mary Magdalene's tomb. This claim was backed by local clergy, including the Bishop of Digne, who organized a pilgrimage to the site in 1868. During the Second World War, however, the tomb was destroyed. It was only after the war ended that the locals rebuilt it. What makes this site different from other supposed Mary Magdalene tombs across Europe is that it can be dated back to the early Christian era, roughly between the 4th and 8th centuries AD, according to art historian and archaeologist Anne-Marie Boudou. Scientists know that during this period, rock-cut tombs were very common in the area. These tombs were built into the rock by carving out a niche for the coffin and placing the entrance in such a way that the deceased would face east towards Jerusalem. Now let's get back to the latest archaeological findings at the site. In 2021, the team worked on clearing debris from the entrance of the tomb so that they could take a look inside. Unfortunately, it was too dangerous for them to go in, because the walls were unstable and the ceiling was falling apart. Using the footage they got from it, they could see that there were indeed bones inside. Excited yet? Well, hold on, because it gets even better. After examining the footage, scientists decided to use a type of radar to learn more about the bones and the structure of the tomb. The device they used sends electromagnetic waves into the ground, after which the waves bounce back and create images of what's inside the earth. Thanks to this method, the team could see that there were 3 human bodies buried inside the tomb. 2 of them were placed next to each other, and the third one was lying above them, in the middle of the recess. Additionally, the device revealed that the front wall of the tomb had been broken in the past, meaning that the bones could have been removed at some point. While all of this is certainly exciting, the scientists still couldn't confirm whether these were really the remains of Mary Magdalene and 2 other individuals. After all, just because bones were found in a tomb can mean that it actually belongs to the person whose name it is associated with. So what did they do next? Get more proof, of course. For that, they invited a team of paleoanthropologists and archaeologists to help them with the excavations in the summer of 2022. Together, they managed to enter the tomb and retrieve the remains. To everyone's surprise, they found a marble ossuary. In case you don't know, an ossuary is a container for holding human bones, usually made of stone. Back in the day, the niches or recesses carved into the rock weren't used as proper tombs. Instead, they were considered secondary burial places, meaning that the body was first placed in a wooden coffin, kept there for around a year and then transferred to a much simpler form of a stone container. But that's not all. The scientists also retrieved a bone fragment from under the ossuary. They believe that it comes from the skeleton lying beneath the woman, and that it might even belong to Jesus himself. If this turns out to be true, this would be the biggest discovery in modern times. That's because most Christians believe that Jesus' body was never actually buried. According to the Bible, he rose from the dead 3 days after being crucified, so there shouldn't be any remains left. As for Mary Magdalene, there have been many claims throughout history that she actually died and was buried in France. That's partly because she was the most prominent of Jesus' followers, and partly due to the fact that, according to legend, she traveled to France with some of Jesus' other disciples after his death. The rumor says that they arrived in the town of Marseille, which is just about 30 miles away from Sinanca. With all of this in mind, the scientists didn't have much doubt that the tomb belonged to Mary Magdalene. But of course, they needed to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, and that's why they decided to study the remains. Whether she was buried together with another woman and 2 men, and ultimately whether Jesus was buried there too. It'll take several months for the tests to come back, but once they do, we'll be sure to update you. Until then, we couldn't help but wonder what will happen if the tomb really does turn out to belong to Mary Magdalene and Jesus. How would this change the world? Would it bring people closer together? Or would it cause even more division and conflict? We hope that whatever happens, the scientific community will be able to shed some light on this mysterious site and help us understand its significance. This discovery is important because it could tell us more about early Christianity, especially in the region of France. Moreover, it gives us a glimpse into the life and work of Mary Magdalene, who was one of Jesus' closest followers. She played an important role in spreading his teachings after his death. Now we have the chance to learn more about her legacy. If you're excited to learn more about Mary Magdalene and the possible discovery of Jesus' tomb, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll keep you updated on all the latest findings and discoveries related to archaeology, history, science, and more. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Who knows, it might just spark their interest in history and science. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. What do you think about this amazing discovery? Let us know in the comments below and join the discussion. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any future videos.